Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons and what I think is one of the most fascinating events of 2023, and that is saying a lot because man, did a lot of things happen in 2023 in D&D history. I truly believe I think it's a bigger year in D&D history than 1974, a bigger year than the creation of Dungeons and Dragons because like if you just sit down and you list everything that happened in 2023 for D&D, it's astounding. It is like it's incredible. Like it's just and literally channels can't even keep up with it. Like there's just so much happening on Dungeons and Dragons. But this incredible thing happened, and that was Makenzie to Armas, who is she self-identifies as Asian, self-identifies as autistic, self-identifies as a woman, right? She is an Asian autistic woman who is who is an official designer for Dungeons and Dragons. To my knowledge, she's not a senior designer. She's pretty new. But she's an official Dungeons and Dragons designer, right? And in my humble opinion, she is 100% on the short list for Dungeons and Dragons game architect. And the reason why is you really can't be a woman D&D designer and not like be in the building designing Dungeons and Dragons and not be on the short list for Dungeons and Dragons design lead. And the reason why is there's never been a female D&D design lead. They are very interested in representation, and well, they should be, because there's a horrible tradition in Dungeons and Dragons that only white men can be the design leads, and only the white men have been design leads for Dungeons and Dragons since the beginning, and it's double today. The design leads, we have two white men as the design leads for Dungeons and Dragons today. It is Jeremy Crawford and Christopher Perkins, right? So that they literally doubled down on the tradition, which is that's really like you're gonna have two, like it hasn't been a problem that we've had like white men be the design lead for Dungeons and Dragons literally from day one, and now we have two at the same time. It's like they literally doubled down on the tradition, which is horrendous, right? Like really bad. It's a bad tradition. By the way, traditions can very much be bad, right? Like traditions, not all traditions are good, right? So that tradition has to be broken, right? So Makenzie to Armas comes out and she says, "Hey, I am autistic, and I gave properties and attributes of myself to this autistic character in Book of Many Things, Asteria, and now Asteria is and she literally said this. She said it like in a Todd Kenrick interview. Asteria is the first D&D canonical character who is autistic. That is not correct because it's not in the lore and it's not in the D&D canon hardback, and that's not how D&D canon works. You don't just say something to Todd Kenrick and now it's canon. You put it in the D&D canon hardback and it becomes canon. That's how it works, right? Like, so this is wild. She claimed something she didn't do, in my humble opinion. And then what's really fascinating is she could have got here, right? Like she could have had a canonically autistic character with Asteria if she didn't claim it. Now, how would that be? So this is my take. So I think that Makenzie de Armas, Rachel Zeglered herself. Okay, and so let's get all the way there, because I really think that's the way to understand this moment in Dungeons and Dragons history. So who the heck is Rachel Zegler, right? So first of all, over the last year, I kept hearing this name, Rachel Zegler, and people are like, Rachel Zegler said this, and Rachel Zegler said that, and it's really upsetting people. So I was like, what is Rachel Zegler? And I was like, from everything I'm hearing, she's an incredibly powerful feminist who really and then because everything she was saying is like women up, men down, right? Like, and from I would hear what you'd say, and I was like, that's the summary, right? But then I learned, right? So Rachel Zegler is the new Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. She shot this movie she shot a full movie with Disney, right? And then she went and said, hey, I'm going to be in Snow, and then she talked to a whole bunch of people about it with Gal Gadot, right? It's like, I'm going to be Snow White, right? And the Seven Dwarfs, right? But guess what? The original story is garbage, and everybody who likes the original stories, they're garbage people. That's my summary of what she said. She said it in different words, but that's what she was saying. She was like, "Hey, if you like the old one, you're an anti-feminist, and if you and the story is absolute garbage, and the people who like it are garbage." Right? Like, it's what she said. Like it actually, it's not what she said. That was people's takeaway, and I think that is a fair summary of what she was saying. Now, you're like, wait a second. That's some serious feminist activism, right? But here's the thing, right? If you put up the numbers, you could say anything you want. That's how Tom Hanks did it, right? Like, he got super famous and then became a very staunch activist, right? And had a lot of political speech, right? Because he had the power to do it. George Clooney did the same thing. I got billions, right? I got all the money in the world. I got my movies, blah, blah, blah. It's time for me to get my activism going. Here's the problem. Rachel Zegler ain't done nothing. Like, you know what Rachel Zegler was in? She was in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Nobody saw that movie, and it didn't make any money, right? Like, so basically, she'd be like, so Rachel Zegler rolling up and being like, "Hey, I'm a Hollywood star. Are you? Does anybody even know who your name is? Like, I needed to look you up and determine that you weren't the lady who, like, starred in Bridget Jones' Diary. Like, you are not a Hollywood, like, blockbuster star, right? But you rolling like you're one, right? Activists can do this, right? Activists can absolutely get to the point where, activists can absolutely, Hollywood activists can flex their Hollywood activist muscles, right? They're like, I don't need to be a Hollywood actor anymore, right? Because I already have billions, and I already have all my movie creds, right? If I don't get another movie, George Clooney's like, if I don't ever get another show or another movie, what's it matter? I'm a billionaire. I have all the movies I want. Rachel Zegler has one movie nobody saw, right? Like, and then she gets on a Disney property and is like, I'm going to tank this film before it even gets shown, right? That's my issue with what Makenzie Armas did, right? You're coming and claiming you did something when if she had just done the work and then zip it, right? Like, then let the autistic community see what you've done and let Polygon declare, hey, guess what, everybody? The first D&D canon autistic character is here. Wait, you don't think so? Let us prove it to you, right? Here's every attribute of this character. Here's Makenzie Armas. Makenzie Armas has publicly spoken about her struggles with autism. We think that when we look at this product, she has done the work. Makenzie Armas has delivered the first D&D canon autistic character, right? Let Polygon say it. Let the character sheet at comicbook.com say it, right? Let Nerd Immersion say it, right? Don't wait for Professor Dungeon Master to say, he ain't ever going to say anything that ain't like, oh, I'm an old grognard and I really don't like anything and I hate D&D 5e. Like he's not going to say it, right? But there's plenty of sources where you could, where a very established, Bob World Builder, right? Like, there's plenty, like, let Ginny, well, no, Ginny D can't. She actually worked for him, right? So she's kind of like to some people, she probably qualifies as a WotC mouthpiece at this point, because she literally was paid by them to promote their game. So if she promotes their game, right, people are like, well, you're waiting to get invited back, right? Like, so that one probably wouldn't work, right? But Bob World Builder, Nerd Immersion, Polygon, right? Forbes. Let Forbes say it, right? Forbes actually covers Dungeons & Dragons at this point. So that's my point, is Makenzie Armas really could have accomplished exactly what she wants. But I think by declaring it, right, with her official title, she makes it so that no one else can declare it. Because if anybody declares it now, they're just echoing, Hasbro's own, like, promotion, right? And that's the point, is by just not doing the work and then waiting for the praise to arrive, but claiming her own glory, and that's what I think that's why I think Makenzie de Armas is Dungeons and Dragons' own Rachel Zegler. Is Rachel Zegler is claiming glory she didn't earn, right? And that's exactly what I think Makenzie de Armas did. She's claiming glory she never earned, right? And if she had just been quiet, right, and let anyone else, right, who actually has has standing within the autistic community, right, and sure, she has standing within the autistic community, but she corrupts the pool, right, because she's also incented to claim something in order to, because it was literally within the promotion period of the product, right? So you're like, oh wait, are you claiming this because you want to do good and you want to help representation, or are you simply promoting the product? Whereas if she had just done the work, zipped it, right, and let others come and say, hey, come take the head seat at the table. You did it. You did. Polygon, Forbes, character sheet on comicbook.com, lots and lots of great tabletop news, right? Lots of sources could have come and said, hey, we recognize your work. You did it. You created the first D&D canon autistic character. And then there would be some debate on whether she actually accomplished it, right? And I don't think she accomplished it. I don't think she accomplished it at all. But I would not have much standing to say what I'm saying if other people people who were not incented by their own promotion and by their own positioning in the race to, design lead, right? Because essentially she's too invested, right? And so if she had just waited, I think it would have come out in a month, right? That somebody with some standing would have said, hey, she's made the first D&D canon autistic character. But by declaring it herself, I think she doesn't even allow anyone to declare it now, because now it's literally just the echoing of a Hasbro promotion point, right? So I really like Makenzie de Armas. I think this was a glorious failure. And by the way, I'm in huge support of failure, right? I think we should be failing. It means we're skiing the black diamonds. We're not sticking on the bunny slope. I think this is horrendous fall for Makenzie de Armas. Doesn't mean she's not going to bring out great material, and I am extremely excited about Book of Many Things, right? And I actually think Makenzie de Armas 100% should be the design lead for Dungeons & Dragons immediately. I literally think they should immediately demote Christopher Perkins and Jeremy Crawford. Said, you guys are done, man. This is it. This is 2023. We're literally coming up on 50 years, and we've never had anything but a white male as a design lead. It's time. You guys are now senior design leads. Makenzie de Armas is the design lead of Dungeons & Dragons. So I'm in total support of her, but she made a she made a glorious failure on this. This is representation done wrong, in my humble opinion. But I'm glad she failed in this way, because it opens a discussion, right? Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.